There we go. We are back with the third game of the evening between Team Extreme G's and UCU Gaming. UCU Gaming, we've seen a last split. Extreme G's is a new team, sorry. And yeah, we're going to see how well they do. UCU Gaming ended on a very dignifying. Was it second to last place? I think eighth place. And I do want to actually give a shout out to the fact that they continued playing. I'm very, very. I think that I've got a lot of respect for that because there are a lot of teams. There is actually. I do want to mention that there's a lot of stuff going on about teams not being good, etc., and teams getting stomped. And obviously, that's what's going to happen when you have a tournament. That sometimes happens. But I'm absolute utmost respect for the teams that keep losing week in, week out, and keep going. I think that's just that's the mentality. That's what you want. Yeah. Apart from that, we see Rengar banged out. I think that is towards a Torpedo. He does play some Rengar. We see LeBlanc. I'm gonna say didn't do that thorough a background check on all the teams. That's something we're gonna see shape up every week. Then we got Lux and Ezreal obviously just aimed at the meta. Actually, Rengar very much aimed at the meta too in that sense. Just a very strong pick right now. Same goes for Ezreal. I'm gonna be honest. Ezreal is. I don't like him at all. What's Sivir doing here? Maybe they just played Sivir. I'm going to check that because I do think Sivir, I don't consider him to be that good of a pick right now. Lucian, on the other hand, is absolutely atrocious. Very, very, very good pick. If we are even going to see him. But at least Sin is locked in. So, Lee Sin first pick, and then 6 Islands hovering over that. Jinx, Thunder Fairy, hovering over the Morgana. Instant bot lane pick could be possible. Definitely interesting if you obviously want to perform a nice insect and the target gets black shield at the last moment. That is definitely going to be unfortunate. And in that sense, obviously, relatively good counter. Last ban I actually want to go into. I'm completely this what do you call it? The way in which I'm doing this chronological order. The order in which I'm doing this is completely all over the place. But Graves, obviously good ban. Graves is also very good right now. Although Corki is still open, and Corki is, I think, probably one of the best ADCs together with Graves and Lucian. That one's still open. Jinx did get locked in. Morgana, obviously, and Regice, I hope I pronounced that right, is hovering over this Zed. And Master Q going for that Thresh. Not afraid of the Morgana. Just locking in that Thresh. And definitely going to be a heavy bot lane. I must say, I do think like Thresh, Morgana probably around the same. They're probably like as good as each other in that sense. Comparable. Oh wow, Skarner got locked in. Now that is an interesting one. I would not consider Skarner to be a very strong pick in this meta. And Azir. Yeah, Azir could definitely be good, but that is, personally, I'd pick Azir into a comp that has a lot of heavy tanks, a lot of immobile champions. You want to pick an Azir into something like Udyr, I would say. Something that does have a gap closer that you can easily ult away, and then it makes it very, very hard for them to continue chasing you, especially when you have like something like Rylays or something. But they're leaving that open. And yeah, Lissandra also open. There's not that much. If you're playing with a Skarner and you get kited, then that is going to be quite horrendous. And Corki, as I said, Corki was still open. Can still be picked up for that mid lane. They do have They don't actually have that much magic damage because they do have the Lucian and the Lee Sin. So I said all around the team comp of Extreme Cheese is just quite good. And if you really, really want to effectively make use of something like a Skarner, I think you do need something with a little bit of speed buff. You might want a Lulu in there, something like a Bard, maybe a Janna even, I don't know, but something that you can make sure you can, one of those passive supports that can help him. Of course, Morgana is passive in that sense, but I'm not sure. Yeah, you can Black Shield, obviously, and then make sure he can, I don't know, pull a Lissandra or something, or at least not be slowed by Lissandra. It is good in the sense that when you're playing against 280 carries, you do want to be able to get in there. But I think an assassin would have probably done the job better, something like a Zed. But we'll see. We'll see how well Torpedo is on that Skarner. And we have about 30 seconds left until we go into the delay. Delay is going to be 3 minutes. And yeah, so we get to talk about the comp. Well, I don't so much get to talk about the comp. You get to hear me talk about the comp for another 3 minutes. So that's going to be good. Yeah, overall, if I were to pick a comp, I do think the Extreme Cheese comp is probably better. Simply because it's probably a little bit more balanced. But I think most importantly, it's just they have stronger champions in that sense. Although the matchup Aurelia Lissandra is very, very much in favor of Aurelia. There's basically nothing you can do top lane as Lissandra, so we are going to see if is it Takaro? Yeah, Takaro. If Takaro can take advantage of that, because there's basically the only thing you want to do as Lissandra is in a team fight you want to go in, you want to do a lot of AoE damage, and in lane you want to poke and you want to keep people at distance, because that's why you've got so much AoE. I mean, you can go in to finish someone off, but in a 1v1 you only want to do that when you're against a champion that's either squishy or a champion that you think you can burst. Now I do think Aurelia, if she gets some magic resist, that won't be possible. If she gets a Hex Drinker, it certainly won't be possible, but I doubt she get a Hex Drinker. Well, maybe she would actually against something like a Corki. Probably going to go, whatever. She's probably going to go for something like Triforce first, and then she might get some magic resist. The thing is that if you can't burst an Aurelia, she will just heal back in between your spell rotation. And on the other hand, there's no way you can keep an Aurelia a distance as Lissandra, because you can't really respect the dash to a minion, the double dash. That's something you can't really respect. And Aurelia has almost no, she has so much tenacity. You aren't going to slow her that much, you aren't going to snare her that much. That's basically the entire kit of Lissandra, having that AoE snare. Now, AoE stuff is not that good in a 1v1 matchup, but can you imagine how bad it is when you're playing against a person that also has so much tenacity? Can you imagine when she even when she builds Mercury Treads, it's just not going to be slowed or snared at all. So that's going to be a very, very awkward matchup. So yeah, overall I do think we have, we're just gonna have to see. I'm also interested to see how Master Q does in the jungle, because I'm very much going to have to be convinced about I would say the usefulness of Skarner in the jungle. I just say I'm not very much a Skarner fan. And obviously, yeah, Skarner in general, his kit it's a weird kit. It's a weird kit. It's like an Udyr, but then he's not strong. And obviously Lee Sin, it's just if Master Q can play Lee Sin effectively, then it will probably be a quite I wouldn't say an easy game, but definitely something they need to take care of in that sense. And now, as soon as everyone's connected, everyone sees a black screen right now. As soon as everyone's connected, we will be in the game, and that will be around about a minute. And right now everyone is connecting, so we are getting into the game as soon as possible. And as soon as we do, you will see our borders. And that is obviously when how everyone likes to analyze these games. That is when you get to see who has the best borders. And obviously that holds. And we hear a lot of people say always, oh man, these people are so bad, etc. But I can assure you there are a lot of good teams in here, and not everyone plays that well under pressure. Yeah, when you look at the borders, it does lean heavily in the favor of Extreme Cheese. But, oh wow, Aurelia is the only one that isn't Master Level 5 on the champion. I think that's really good to see. That's really good to see. And a lot of skins also. Anyway, the thing is that when you get this, I mean, the tournament's open to all kinds of players as long as they're students. When you get a tournament like this, you will get a lot of variation in ELO, and that's definitely what we saw last split. Also, especially UCU Gaming, they were pitched against some very high level teams, but they kept on going, which I think is really cool. And oh man, all the mastery emotes. But yeah, we'll just see how it works out. And after 3 weeks, the teams will be split up. There are 12 teams right now. The teams will be split up in 2 divisions, and then we'll get to see how teams are like ranked in their own division. We are going to see an invade here. Master Q in front. Not sure why he's in front. Oh, is Torpedo going to be hooked there? He is going to be hooked, and that is probably going to be first blood. Does flash there. Oh man, and 6 Silence healed there, so that is a flash down for Skarner, but a heal for 6 Silence, and that is gonna make it very yeah, I'd say a lot easier to to get a kill in lane. Sorry, I'm just reading that good start, but I'm just trying to figure out if it's trash talk. No, it's a good start from UCU Gaming. And there we go. Trying to get the bird is the word meme in. Well, a lot of wards placed also. Ward at the blue buff of UCU Gaming. And a red start for Master Q, which probably oh man, yeah, he's going to invade the blue buff. That might be a very, very early first blood. And I have always wondered, why doesn't the support place a ward here? Because then he can immediately W over the wall, unless he... Oh no, he didn't. He went for E probably. Oh man, he does go in. And is that going to be... Is that going to be first blood? Master Q showing his Lee Sin skills there. He goes very low. Does flash there. And chooses to execute actually. Oh, he doesn't even execute. Okay, fair enough. Not sure if that was necessary. But you could probably not get out against that Morgana, which is why he went so deep. Now, it's first blood. And 6 Silence has disconnected, so they should probably pause actually. Now, Sidfun is actually using a lot of his mana. It's something I wouldn't... Yeah, it is something you can do if you're trying to get the early lead, trying to get them getting poked down, but you need to make sure you have at least some mana to keep him at a bit of a distance, because as soon as Aurelia hits like level 3, level 4, if she can get a stun off, there's not a lot you can do as Lissandra. No. Takaro going quite heavy here. I'm going to be swapping around. See, I haven't done that yet. And